Hey everybody, welcome back. Got game number 2 here for you from the SK Gaming Champions Trophy North American Tournament Series. It's a 16-player tournament. This is game number 2 between Cats of Complexity Gaming, spawning down in the bottom left position against EGAxslav of Team Evil Geniuses up in the top right. So, we've seen game number 1. I guess if you haven't already watched it, pause it right now because we're going to cover just a little bit of information. Okay, you've been warned. Spoiler, game number 1 went to EGAxslav after the disconnect issue, so very, very cool of him to do that, especially when you consider, yes, at the end it looks like he was indeed up there. He took out the Zerg army after that mind control frenzy, and he did have free reign of the expansions, but still, those guys fought tooth and nail the entire game for every inch of ground that they gained, and I just think it was really cool of Cats to give EGAxslav the win like that. So, currently 1-0 here in this best of 3 tournament series. And we are going to be watching this game take place on Zelnaga Caverns. So we'll just wait a second and see what both of these players are going to be doing, as it looks like they're just kind of going the standard route so far. Not really too much they can deviate from at this point. So as far as goings on, I'll just cover a couple things super quickly. Number 1, we have started the Lost Temple recreation project on my Minecraft server. So if you want to check that out, you can actually apply at anaris.forumotion.com if you want to help out with it. Pretty much anybody is welcome that fills out an application to the standards set forth in the forum. So, you can check that out at your own leisure. Number 2, I did mention that I was going to try to get a boatload of games cast this month, namely about 100 of them. Now, I have actually sat down and cast several games for YouTube, but also for SK Gaming as well. SK Gaming, of course, recently started going into the YouTube arena. They have their own channel now. That's youtube.com/skgaming. And in the past 24 hours, I've uploaded about, I think, 10 games? 8 or 10 games. So they're from the Champions Trophy series finals, the European, the US, I think for May and June. Those all went up there within a very short amount of time. So you'll also find a link for that down in the video description as well. Now that we've wrapped up the current goings-on, let's actually look at Cats here, as he is sending out a drone at around 19 supply to check out this probe. EGAxslav actually has this just kind of sitting around, not really doing a whole lot other than trying to block the hatchery, which you see, the fact that he sent it out there, Cats was obviously able to drop that. Now look over here, something really important that I want to point out. While these two were scouting each other out, Cats decided to go ahead and drop an extractor on EGAxslav's second refinery. Now this really limits the Protoss and his choices. Protoss, of course, for the early game, they do often in ZVP go that heavy sentry opener and like to take that early expansion, using the structures, the terrain to their advantage, kind of minimizing the amount of force fields needed to block themselves in from any sort of zergling harassment. But with this extractor being capped the way it is, that is not going to be quite as effective. So you see he is building a stalker here. That is one of the signs that you have a reduced gas income. Of course, you generally don't want to have too many of those in ZVP at this point in the game, considering how effective Zerglings are against them. But for now, you see he's pretty much limited to that. He does have his Warp Gate technology being chrono boosted out, and he is going really the only, well, one of 2 viable options that he has available to him. He could either decide to go ahead and go with like a 1-gate or 2-gate fast expansion, or do what he's doing right now, which is a 4-gate, which is something that I think I see more often in the expansion, at least on this map. And it kind of puts, Cats has basically said, okay, I'm decided for you this game, you're going to go 4-gate, and you're going to pressure me. So, Cats, of course, having dropped that geyser and already had that thought process, has his expansion down here, and notice how he's already got several drones up here, so that's looking quite nice. The metabolic boost upgrade is just about complete, and that's one of the reasons why this Roach Warren is going down, because he has forced, whoa, that's a shield if I've ever seen one, he has forced his opponent to go this early build, which lends itself very well to pressure. So he's going to want those early defensive units. Here's another sign. He had that Overlord up there, he scouted out the gateways, and it just reinforced the fact that he needed to have some spy crawlers down here, which I think will be quite effective in defending this expansion. We can look at the drone count right now and see 29 to 30, sitting pretty comfortable there. Of course, the Protoss now on double gas, Zerg still on single. I mean, really, what does he need it for, other than just getting the roaches, which you can see he currently has 5 of them right now. And as far as the army goes, goes. You see Zerg down just a teeny tiny bit. Both players are actually supply blocked right now. So Protoss does have a Nexus on the way, now finally dropping a pylon. That is a very long time to be supply blocked there. We could see EGAxslav dropping that proxy pylon now. He will be looking to put some pressure. The thing is, he already got the Zealot here kind of whacked by the spine crawler, so he came down, he saw those two, you can see the vision right there. So he's going to come down, he's going to see the third one in the roaches, and that's just pretty much going to be an automatic no way, no how. He does not have the damage, the firepower rather, to deal with those roaches and not send all of his units into the range of the spine crawlers. Nor is it very likely he'd actually be able to get up to the main base, because the roaches will be on the creep. You can see that spread right there. So they will be able to intercept and block off the ramp, forcing the engagement down here. Of course, the Zerg player, coLCatZ, does have his Zergling running over. He sees the expansion. Of course, it is definitely later than his opponent. And looking at the income, I want to point out something. Zerg has actually completely stopped droning at 29 supply, and Protoss is still working up to it at 36. Here's Zerg actually coming down and taking out the rocks. Now, considering the fact that he has stopped here and built so many units, I think it's very good that he got these roaches for the initial defense, but now he's going to be he's going to be putting this stuff to good use. He takes out the rocks because he knows that if what looks like this attack does not work, he's going to have to be able... Well, first of all, he has to be able to at least get the Protoss knocked down pretty low with what he has. That's pretty much a guaranteed, as what we see right here. But he wants to be able to rebound economically very fast, and having this high yield available to him will definitely open up an additional option. One thing I don't like about EGAxslav's position here, you see he doesn't have any structures here, which means with the way he's dumping these force fields down, he is expending a ton of energy. And considering he did not have that gas earlier on, it is certainly not something you want to have to do. Look at how many force fields he's having to dump down here. Of course, the probes coming over here trying to block the Zerglings from getting to the cannon and getting back around. Not going to be good enough, though, as coLCatZ is actually able to bust through and finish it off. Protoss just did not have the firepower in order to stop this. He had plenty of energy for force fields there, but unfortunately, just the situation called for so many of them, and now the Zerglings are going to be getting in the main. This is just a terrible situation for EGAxslav right now. So there's the GG right there from EGAxslav, giving coLCatZ game number 2, taking the series to 1-1. So that means we have one final game, which I will be casting here in just a brief while, maybe when I wake up. I don't know. I've actually been up since like 3 a.m. I'm going to try to get this game rendered real quick. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Again, if you want to check out the forums for the Minecraft server, that's anaris.forumotion.com. You'll find the link in the video description. Also, SK Gaming, where I uploaded a ton of videos today. That's youtube.com/skgaming. I think they're also going to put some Counter-Strike videos there as well. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. So thank you guys again for watching. You all are the best, and oh look, a high yield.